Have you ever wondered why some people seem to start their mornings with energy, stable blood sugar, and better focus, while others struggle with fatigue, sugar spikes, or even that mid-morning crash? The truth is, what you drink first thing in the morning can set the tone for your blood sugar for the entire day. For people living with diabetes, or even those who are pre-diabetic, choosing the right morning drink is not just about hydration. It's about giving your body a natural advantage in keeping glucose levels stable. And today, we're diving into 5 of the very best morning drinks that research and real-life experience show can help lower blood sugar naturally without complicated diets or expensive supplements. By the end of this video, you'll have simple, practical ideas that you can try tomorrow morning. Ideas that could help improve your energy, control your cravings, and protect your health in the long run. Stay with me until the very end, because the last drink on this list is often overlooked, yet it may be the most powerful of them all. Before we get started, if you care about your health, your family, and your future, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your engagement helps this channel reach more people who are trying to manage their diabetes and live healthier lives. Now let's get right into it. The first morning drink that deserves a place in your daily routine is warm lemon water. Simple, affordable, and powerful. You may have heard people talking about lemon water as a detox drink, but what many don't realize is how it can actually support blood sugar balance. Lemons are packed with vitamin C, antioxidants, and a special type of soluble fiber called pectin. Now, when you drink freshly squeezed lemon juice diluted in warm water, it doesn't just hydrate you, it actually slows down the absorption of sugar from the foods you'll eat later in the day. In fact, studies have shown that adding lemon or other sources of acidity to a meal can reduce the glycemic impact by lowering the post-meal glucose spike. Think of it like giving your body a little protective shield before you even start your breakfast. Another hidden benefit of lemon water is how it encourages hydration. Dehydration is a common problem for people with diabetes, and it can lead to higher blood sugar readings. When you're dehydrated, your blood becomes more concentrated, which naturally raises glucose levels. By starting your morning with a glass of warm lemon water, you're not only refreshing your system, but also reducing the risk of unnecessary spikes caused by dehydration. And the warmth of the water helps digestion and can even soothe morning stiffness, which many older adults experience. Imagine waking up, squeezing half a lemon into a glass of warm water, and giving your body that gentle wake-up call. It's a small habit with big rewards. Now, you might be asking, but won't the lemon juice harm my teeth or upset my stomach? That's a valid concern, especially for older adults. The trick here is balance. Always dilute the juice properly. Never drink straight lemon juice, and if possible, rinse your mouth with plain water afterward to protect your enamel. Most people tolerate it well, but if you have acid reflux, you can start with just a few drops of lemon and increase gradually. The point is, don't underestimate this simple drink. For so many of my patients and readers, it's been a game changer. If you're finding this information useful so far, go ahead and subscribe right now. We have so many more practical tips coming your way that can truly make a difference in your daily life with diabetes. The second morning drink on our list is green tea. Now, you may have heard about green tea being healthy, but let's dig into why it matters so much for blood sugar. Green tea is rich in compounds called catechins, specifically epigallocatechin galati, or EGCG for short. This antioxidant has been studied for its ability to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation, 2 major factors in diabetes management. When your cells become more sensitive to insulin, your body doesn't have to pump out as much of it to handle glucose. That means lower blood sugar readings and less stress on your pancreas. One fascinating study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants who drank green tea regularly had lower fasting blood sugar and improved hemoglobin A1C levels compared to those who didn't. These aren't miracle claims. They're scientific findings that show how a simple daily habit can support long-term blood sugar control, but there's more. Green tea also helps with weight management, something many people with diabetes struggle with. The catechins in green tea boost metabolism and increase fat oxidation, meaning your body burns fat more efficiently. Even a modest reduction in weight can significantly improve blood sugar control and reduce the risk of complications. And unlike coffee, green tea gives a gentler lift without the jitters or sudden spikes in blood pressure, which makes it ideal for older adults who may be sensitive to caffeine. A practical tip: brew your green tea fresh in the morning, avoid adding sugar, and sip it slowly. If you find it too bitter, a slice of fresh ginger or a few mint leaves can add flavor without raising blood sugar. And remember, bottled green tea from the store is often loaded with sugar, so always go for plain brewed tea. Let me share a real-life example. I once worked with a gentleman in his late 50s who was struggling with stubborn fasting glucose levels. He wasn't keen on drastic diet changes, but he agreed to swap his morning cup of sweetened coffee for a simple cup of green tea. Within 3 months, his fasting blood sugar dropped by nearly 15 points, and he told me he felt lighter, more energetic, and less bloated. Sometimes the smallest changes make the biggest difference. If you want more tips like this, real, simple strategies that actually work, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what your current morning drink is and if you've tried green tea before. And this brings us to the third drink, which might surprise you because it's not as trendy as green tea, but it has been used for centuries in traditional medicine and is now backed by modern research as well. Cinnamon water. Yes, cinnamon isn't just a spice for your oatmeal or desserts. It can be a powerful ally in controlling blood sugar when used correctly. Cinnamon water is one of those traditional remedies that's now getting a lot of scientific attention, and for good reason. Cinnamon contains special compounds, particularly cinnamaldehyde, that help your cells respond better to insulin. In simple terms, cinnamon acts almost like a key that helps unlock your cells so glucose can move in more efficiently. This lowers the amount of sugar floating around in your bloodstream, and over time, it may help improve insulin sensitivity. A number of studies have found that cinnamon can lower fasting blood glucose and even improve hemoglobin A1C levels, which, as you probably know, is the 3-month average measure of blood sugar control. For example, a study published in Diabetes Care showed that people with type 2 diabetes who took cinnamon daily saw significant improvements in their blood sugar levels compared to those who didn't. And the best part? You don't need large amounts to see benefits. Even a teaspoon a day, when consumed consistently, can make a difference. So how do you make cinnamon water? It's simple. You can add half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon or 1 cinnamon stick to a cup of warm water and let it steep for a few minutes before drinking. Some people prepare it the night before and drink it first thing in the morning. If you prefer, you can also combine it with lemon for an added blood sugar-friendly boost. But here's something important to remember. Not all cinnamon is created equal. The most common type, called cassia cinnamon, contains higher levels of a compound called coumarin, which in very large amounts can affect the liver. The safer choice, especially for daily use, is Ceylon cinnamon, often labeled as true cinnamon. If you can find it, it's worth the investment for long-term health. One of my patients, a 62-year-old woman with type 2 diabetes, started drinking cinnamon water each morning after reading about it in a natural remedies book. Within weeks, she noticed fewer mid-morning sugar spikes and even a slight drop in her fasting glucose levels. She told me it felt like her body was more stable throughout the day, and she wasn't reaching for snacks as often. That's the kind of small lifestyle change that creates a ripple effect in your daily health. If this is sounding helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. Tell me, would you be willing to try cinnamon water as part of your morning routine? Your feedback really helps this community grow. Now moving on to the fourth morning drink, one that's not only great for blood sugar but also for gut health, which plays a bigger role in diabetes than most people realize. And that drink is fenugreek seed water. Fenugreek is a spice often used in Indian and Middle Eastern cooking. But the seeds, when soaked in water overnight, release compounds that can significantly help regulate blood sugar. Fenugreek seeds contain soluble fiber called galactomannan, which slows down carbohydrate digestion and sugar absorption. That means your blood sugar rises more gently instead of spiking after meals. They also contain an amino acid called 4-hydroxysoleucine, which has been shown to stimulate insulin secretion. Together, these effects can improve both fasting and post-meal blood sugar levels. To make fenugreek seed water, simply soak 1 or 2 teaspoons of seeds in a glass of water overnight. In the morning, drink the water on an empty stomach. Some people even chew the softened seeds for additional benefits, though the taste can be a bit bitter. But here's the thing. Many people who commit to this habit notice real changes. In fact, studies have documented reductions in fasting glucose and improved glucose tolerance in people with type 2 diabetes who regularly consumed fenugreek. There's also the added bonus of digestive support. For older adults, constipation and sluggish digestion can make managing diabetes harder. Fenugreek's fiber helps improve bowel regularity, which can in turn support better metabolic health. I once worked with a gentleman in his late 40s who was very skeptical of natural remedies. But when he tried fenugreek water consistently for a couple of months, he noticed not only smoother digestion, but also fewer sugar crashes in the afternoon. He said it made him feel more steady, which is exactly what people with diabetes need. Now, a quick word of caution. Fenugreek can interact with certain medications, including blood thinners. If you're already on prescription drugs, it's always wise to check with your healthcare provider before starting this habit. Remember, natural remedies can be powerful, but they should work alongside your medical care, not replace it. If you're enjoying these insights and want more natural, practical ways to support your blood sugar, make sure you subscribe and share this video with a friend who might benefit. Small habits, when shared, can change not only your health, but your loved one's health, too. And now we come to the 5th and final morning drink. This one is often overlooked because it seems too simple, but it might just be the most important. Plain water. Yes, regular clean water. No additives, no sugar, no flavoring. Hydration is one of the most underestimated tools in diabetes management. When your body is well hydrated, your kidneys can more effectively flush out excess glucose through urine, helping you avoid dangerously high levels. On the other hand, when you're even mildly dehydrated, your blood sugar becomes more concentrated and readings can climb higher than expected. Research has shown that people who drink more water throughout the day tend to have a lower risk of developing high blood sugar levels and type 2 diabetes. For those already living with diabetes, starting the morning with a glass of water helps rehydrate the body after hours of sleep and sets a healthy foundation for stable blood sugar. Think of it as a reset button for your metabolism each morning. I recall a patient in her 70s who struggled with consistently high fasting glucose, even though she was careful with her diet. After reviewing her habits, we realized she was drinking less than 2 cups of water per day. We worked together to slowly increase her hydration, starting with just 1 glass of water as soon as she woke up. Within weeks, her fasting blood sugar dropped, and she told me she felt more energetic and less foggy-headed in the mornings. Something as simple as water made a remarkable difference. If plain water feels boring, you can infuse it with cucumber slices, fresh mint, or a splash of lemon juice to make it more enjoyable without adding sugar. The goal isn't to overcomplicate things. It's about building consistency. Sometimes the simplest solutions are the most powerful. Before we wrap up this part, let me emphasize something important. You don't need to adopt all 5 drinks at once. Start with 1 or 2 that feel easy and realistic for you. Build consistency first, and then experiment with the others. Remember, these drinks are not meant to replace healthy meals, medications, or exercise. They are tools, powerful, natural tools, that can give your body the support it needs each morning to manage blood sugar more effectively. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone you care about. Your support helps us continue bringing Use science-based, practical strategies to manage diabetes naturally and live a healthier life. Now that we've covered the 5 best morning drinks for lowering blood sugar naturally, the next question becomes, how do you actually make these habits stick in real life? Because let's be honest, many of us already know what we should be doing for our health. But the challenge lies in turning that knowledge into action. Especially for older adults or those living with diabetes for many years, it can feel overwhelming to start new routines. That's why I want to share some practical strategies and real-life tips to help you integrate these drinks into your mornings without stress. The first principle is to start small. You don't need to wake up tomorrow and prepare all 5 drinks. In fact, doing too much at once can backfire, leaving you frustrated or inconsistent. Instead, choose just one drink that feels the easiest or most appealing for you. For many people, that's lemon water or plain water, since they require little preparation. Once you're consistent with that for a week or 2, then consider adding green tea, cinnamon water, or fenugreek water. Think of it as building blocks. Each habit reinforces the next, and soon your mornings become healthier without you even realizing how much progress you've made. Another practical tip is to prepare in advance. If you plan to try cinnamon water or fenugreek water, soak or steep them the night before so that in the morning you only need to drink. This removes barriers and makes it easier to stick with the routine, especially on busy mornings. For green tea, you can keep a small electric kettle by your kitchen counter so it's quick to brew while you prepare breakfast. Small systems like this make all the difference. Now let's talk about real-world impact. I've seen countless examples where these simple morning habits change lives. One gentleman in his 60s came to me struggling with high blood sugar despite being diligent with his medication. He admitted his mornings were rushed. He often skipped water and went straight for coffee with sugar. We worked on just one change, replacing his sugary coffee with green tea and a glass of lemon water. Within 2 months, his fasting glucose dropped by 20 points, and he told me he felt lighter and more in control. That's the power of consistency. Another example is a woman in her early 70s who had battled type 2 diabetes for over a decade. She was skeptical at first, but agreed to try fenugreek water because her daughter encouraged her. After 3 months, not only were her blood sugar levels better controlled, but she also reported improved digestion, less bloating, and even better sleep. These are the kind of ripple effects that simple habits can create. If you're finding inspiration in these stories, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment about which morning drink you'd like to try first. Sharing your experience might just inspire someone else in this community. Now, a lot of people ask me, do these drinks replace medication? The answer is no. These drinks are supportive, not substitutes. If you're on insulin or oral medications, continue them exactly as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Think of these drinks as natural helpers that make your body's job easier, not as magic cures. In fact, studies have shown that when lifestyle habits are combined with medical treatment, the results are far stronger than medication alone. So, it's about partnership between natural strategies and medical care. It's also worth mentioning that while these drinks are safe for most people, everyone's body is unique. For example, cinnamon and fenugreek may not be ideal for people with certain liver conditions, bleeding disorders, or those on specific medications. That's why I always encourage viewers to check with their doctor before making significant changes, especially if you already have other health concerns. Safety. First, always. Let's also consider the psychological side of these habits. Starting your day with a deliberate choice, like drinking lemon water or green tea, can set a positive tone for the rest of the day. It's a signal to your mind and body that you're prioritizing your health. That mental reinforcement makes it easier to make healthier choices later, whether that's choosing a balanced breakfast, going for a walk, or avoiding sugary snacks. In other words, these morning drinks aren't just about what's in the glass, they're about building momentum for a healthier lifestyle. And here's something powerful: the ripple effect in families. I've had patients tell me that once They started drinking lemon water or green tea in the morning. Their spouse or even their grandchildren became curious and joined them. Over time, these small habits spread, creating a healthier household culture. Imagine being the one who inspires. Better health not just for yourself, but for your family. That's an incredible legacy to build. Now, before we wrap up, let me give you one last practical suggestion. If you're someone who struggles with remembering new habits, use reminders. Place a sticky note on your fridge. Set a gentle alarm on your phone, or even put the glass of water by your bedside before going to sleep. These visual cues make it nearly impossible to forget, and soon the habit becomes automatic. So, let's bring this all together. The 5 best morning drinks for lowering blood sugar naturally are warm lemon water, green tea, cinnamon water, fenugreek seed water, and plain water. Each one offers unique benefits, from improving hydration and digestion to enhancing insulin, sensitivity, and reducing glucose spikes. You don't need all 5 at once. Just choose one to start, stay consistent, and build from there. Over time, these small steps can create lasting improvements in your blood sugar control, energy, and overall health. If you've made it this far, thank you for caring about your health and investing the time to learn something new today. Your journey with diabetes doesn't have to be overwhelming. With the right tools, simple habits, and a supportive community, you can live with more stability, confidence, and joy. Before you go, please subscribe to this channel, give this video a like, and share it with someone you care about. And in the comments, tell me which morning drink you're most excited to try. Your story might encourage someone else to take their first step toward better blood sugar control. Remember, diabetes management is not about perfection, it's about progress. And every sip, every choice brings you closer to a healthier you.